So, my sweet one, let me ask you something. Have you ever caught your eyes drifting? Maybe in a shop window, maybe online, maybe even in someone else's wardrobe. You notice a silky dress, a pair of sheer stockings, maybe a glossy pair of heels, and your stomach twists with a feeling you don't quite know how to name. It's not just curiosity, it's desire. A secret tug inside you whispering, what if I wore that? What would it feel like against my skin? What would it do to me? Dressing up isn't just about fashion. It's about power, transformation, identity, and yes, sometimes about admission. And today, I want to take you deeper into why this thrill feels so irresistible, what it says about you, and why, once you start, you never truly go back. So, let's begin. The psychology of dressing up. Psychologists have long studied the link between clothing and identity. When we change our clothes, we change our posture, our mood, even our voice. A uniform gives you discipline. Gym gear makes you move. And delicate lingerie? Well, that awakens something entirely different. When you dress up in clothes that society doesn't expect of you, your mind is caught between rebellion and permission. That forbidden edge is what makes it so intoxicating. Think of the first time you ever tried something not meant for you. Maybe it was as simple as slipping into a shirt, a skirt, a pair of tights, and suddenly your body language changed. Did you notice? Shoulders softened, hips swayed. You felt vulnerable and powerful all at once. That's not an accident. That's your brain associating fabric and fantasy with identity. You aren't just wearing something, you're stepping into another self. And the more taboo it feels, the stronger the thrill. What it reveals about you. So, what does it mean if you crave dressing up? It means you have a hunger for transformation. You're not satisfied with being boxed into one role, one image, one rigid idea of who you are. You're curious. You're adventurous. You're a little bit deviant. For some of my sweet ones, dressing up reveals a longing for softness. You want to feel delicate, cared for, cherished. For others, it's the humiliation that drives you. The intoxicating shame of stepping into clothes you shouldn't be wearing, knowing that if anyone found out, well, the blush alone makes your heart race. And for a rare few, dressing up doesn't feel humiliating at all. It feels like coming home, like stepping into the truest version of yourself that you've been secretly hiding. None of these answers are wrong. In fact, all of them are delicious. Because what this reveals about you is that you're not flat, simple, or ordinary. You are layered, complex, and maybe a little bit naughty. Why it feels so good. But here's the part I adore. Why does it feel so good? Because when you dress up, you're not just changing your clothes, you're changing your role. Think of it like acting, but more intimate. You're giving yourself permission to try on a different skin, a different soul. When that skirt slips over your hips, or when stockings climb your legs, you're telling yourself, I can be this version of me right now. And that is liberation. That is power. It's also why the urge never goes away. Because once you've tasted that freedom, that softness, that delicious thrill of being caught between humiliation and ecstasy, you can't simply put it back in the drawer. And isn't it funny how much sweeter it feels if someone else knows? A mistress watching, a partner discovering, or even just the fantasy of being seen. That mixture of exposure and secrecy is what turns dressing up into something more than clothing. It becomes a ritual, a craving, a need. As we come to the end of this little game, I want you to reflect on the feelings you've uncovered. What stirred inside you when you imagined being teased, dressed up, or gently embarrassed? These feelings are not weaknesses, they're keys, clues to the kind of self-expression and joy you truly crave. Humiliation, when explored safely, isn't about shame. It's about play, discovery, and the freedom of being honest with yourself. That willingness to embrace even the softer, more vulnerable sides of who you are is what gives you strength. So, take this with you. The courage to lean into your desires, the playfulness to laugh at your own blushes, and the confidence to own the parts of yourself that make you unique. That is where your true power lies. So, my sweet one, the next time you feel that whisper calling you, that quiet pull towards silky lingerie, glossy lipstick, or those forbidden heels, remember, it's not shameful. It's not silly. It's meaningful. It's a sign that there's more to you than meets the eye. That deep down, you are curious, playful, and brave enough to explore the edges of your own identity. And the more you indulge, the more you'll discover. About clothes, about yourself, about what it means to surrender to that secret thrill. So, tell me, in the comments below, if you dared to try on one thing tonight, what would it be? Don't be shy. I'll be reading them carefully. Now watch these beautiful girls for the next 30 seconds while you come up with your comment. Bye now.